Welcome back to the most compelling podcast on YouTube and Spotify, the Av Files. I'm your host, Av. And as always, I am joined by none other than the UFOologist, Daniel of Arius and the Nation on this amazing journey.
I have been known to Najing as well, and it is a pleasure to be in here with you right off the rip. That's how we start our shit. You know what I mean?
We don't, no, we just go all in, man. We mess up, no edits.
Najing.
Because we can't afford it to edit right now.
So. No, we're not there. We're not there yet. We're not there yet.
What's going on, man?
Man, it's always good to just do this, man. And we've had so many technical difficulties, but we're here because we adapt and we overcome, unlike our stories today.
Well, I hope they do too.
Yeah. So what we I did my homework a little bit. I feel like my side of the homework is blaring to everyone across the world, especially in Mexico. So,
whoa. So we're reaching other countries. Well, I guess we're reaching
another
country.
We aren't. They have been reached. They have been reached.
They won't let us get out of the state.
No, man. So, do you want me to say my little bit first?
It doesn't matter, man. How you want to do it?
All right.
You know, rock, paper, scissors.
Check this out. Well, they won't know what we're doing on Spotify for Spotify reasons. I just won at rock, paper, scissors. So here we go. UFO. Listen, so this story has been blowing up. Everyone sees this image. It is, well, we're not putting the image up on the screen, but the Mexican aliens.
Wait, say that again.
For those that maybe the extraterrestrial aliens. You gotta chuckle. You gotta chuckle a little bit. Gotta chuckle. So the title is blaring all across the interweb. It is UFO expert displays supposed non-human alien corpses in Mexico's Congress, saying we are not alone. All right. Now,
after the United States had just come out, said that we're not alone.
Yes. Well, we are not alone again. This is real. We are not alone again. Way to be right behind us. But the most amazing thing to me is Mexico has a Congress. Here we go. Let's dive down. You heard it here first, people. Forget aliens. Mexico has a Congress. All right.
So through all that, right? Yeah, that's
through all that. Yeah, the aliens. Mexico has a Congress. Let's talk about that conspiracy. All right. So here we go. This is the story in a nutshell, guys. Mexico politicians were shown 2 mummified corpses this week that a UFO expert claimed are a clear demonstration of non-human aliens. Non-human aliens opposed to human aliens, guys. All right. 2 bodies with only 3 fingers on each hand and an elongated ET-style head were displayed in a windowed box Tuesday for public congressional hearing on unidentified anomalous phenomena, UAPs. All right.
Which stands
UAPs.
For
unidentified. And don't make me say it again. Unidentified anomalous phenomena. Dude, like I have that song.
I know, I hear that.
Yeah, but I guess that's what they're calling them now in the scene. You know, I'm trying to wait for my hair to grow a little bit bigger and wilder, so I can be like ancient astronaut theorists,
yeah, like up in the air, yeah.
But anyway, so the corpses are between 700 and 1800 years old, with X-rays showing one has mysterious egg inside. Ufologist Jamie Maussan told the hearing. Sorry, that was one big ass
So,
sentence. They wrote it. They wrote this article very interestingly.
so it has, by the X-ray, it has eggs inside. So
Egg.
the body's,
Eggs
it
inside,
has
yeah.
an egg or eggs.
Eggs. I think eggs. You're right. Eggs.
Okay. So then
Huevos. It's a Mexican alien.
yeah, right. They're Mexican, yeah, so they have huevos.
Yes. I
Oh,
cannot
so
not read this whole like quotation thing without the Antonio Banderas Puss in Boots accent.
you should read it like that, but it's funny. It's funny. I don't want to. I want to wait till you're done reading the article, because I want to wait to see if you're gonna say what I'm think or what I had to say about it. But go ahead.
Okay, cool. Fair enough. So
If
the
that
long
makes any
time
sense.
I know I got you. No, it makes yeah, it makes clear sense.
No
Let's do this.
sense.
So, no sense or nonsense. No,
Nonsense.
the longtime UFO enthusiast. So he's already an enthusiast. He's not. I think he's a self-proclaimed UFOologist, UFOlogist. It's fucking
Yeah,
stupid.
how do you say
Uh,
that? UFOlogist or UFOologist?
no, logist.
UFOologist?
It's yeah, UFOlogist or
Logist.
ufologist. Ufologist. It makes him sound like a
Ufologist.
fucking ufologist. Makes him sound like a fucking muppet. Ufologist. There's the heffalumps and snuffleupagus and the ufologist. Ufologist.
It sounds like
Anyway,
something Beaker would say.
yeah. Me. Um. Okay. So anyway, these specimens are not part of
We're having
our.
trouble
Oh, yeah,
speaking today.
yeah. This has nothing to do with our connection. This is all just
That's right. We
we
can't
just
blame this on the internet.
this is not the connection.
It's
This
just
is just
us.
our brains. Good God, man.
That's weather
Um,
nights.
yeah. So the basically Mausan said these specimens are not part of our terrestrial evolution.
Mouse and
There's yeah.
well, no, wait, because
This is
they're literally like what,
yeah,
five
they're
inches tall?
tiny. Uh,
They're like
I think
little. I saw pictures of them.
yeah, they're tiny. They're not the up close, like they look so effing fake. Anyway, let's just get through this. This is the first time extra god damn it, extraterrestrial life is presented in such a form, and I think there is clear demonstration that we are dealing with non-human specimens that are not related to any other species in our world.
It would be funny if they found out they were just big salamanders later.
Yeah, definitely not, man. Then I'm not going to. Oh no, they just look like. Anyway, they look like tiny people that didn't get water like a long time ago. But
They look like beef jerky.
yeah, man, they just look rough. Like, how did they
They
die?
look like chalk. It actually looks like chalk.
Yeah, like if you just went, they would just blow away. So they don't look mummified. They look like they just got 3D printed. They don't
They
look
look like they were stuck in
mummified.
the sun too long.
Yeah, they look
They were
like
like they were in the back of a hot car.
yeah, like maybe if you were like, these are vampires, and right before they turn to complete ash, they put them in a box. Like that's what it looks like. So the ancient specimens were retrieved from Cusco, Peru in 2017. So these things have been globetrotting South America for a while.
So technically,
Because
they're not from Mexico. They're
no, they're
Peruvian,
from Peruvian. They're from Peru. Uh,
right? They're Peruvian.
so they're Peruvian, Mexican. So they're aliens. They're 3 degrees of alien.
So they came. They came down. They crashed in Peru, or whatever,
Mhm.
and they died. or whatever, and then
Correct.
somebody dug them up, brought them to Mexico,
Yeah,
and then they brought them out.
yeah. So here's my anyway. Let me finish this, and then we're gonna poke holes all up in this thing. All right.
We're gonna
Uh,
get all up in it.
yeah. This scientists recently studying UFO specimens at the Autonomous National University of Mexico were able to extract DNA evidence from the specimens using radiocarbon dating. Masan explained. Now, oh man, I want to say something. Not yet. Okay, and here,
Hold it.
Jose de Jesus Zalce Benitez, director of the Scientific Institute for Health of the Mexican Navy, also said X-rays, 3D reconstruction, and DNA analysis had been carried out on the remains. Now,
Navy.
these aren't remains; these are freaking bodies. You know what I mean? And then,
Well, technically, wouldn't that be remains?
yeah, I guess. Anyway, so George of Jesus, Jose de Jesus, said, "I
That's
can
in George of the Jungle.
George of Jesus, I can confirm that these bodies have no relation to human beings." He said, which is
No, because
definitely
they're they're literally like 5 inches tall. That's what they look
this
like.
whole this whole article with all these like impressive quotes, basically saying, "I swear to God, these aren't human," and like a ton of different ways. Anyway, like no
You got to say it
shit,
like
they're not
like Puss in
human.
Boots. They're not human.
These bones are not human. Nasonex. Like shit. Um anyway, we're not sponsored by Nasonex.
I
um
don't think we're sponsored by anybody. Yeah.
no, definitely not the Wi-Fi. We're not sponsored by Wi-Fi at all.
Yeah,
Oh
Wi-Fi is
man,
trying to kick us off.
fuck yeah, it is. The mysterious findings were presented alongside a slew of other videos of UFOs, unidentified UFOs, and other UFOs. All right. The
And more.
hearing, yeah, and more, etc. The hearing aimed to rule on the phenomenon in the aerial space protection law. What is this? Okay, all right. I mean, granted, this is the New York Post, and there are people that write for them that hopefully have graduated middle school, but this is written insanely. Like the hearing aimed to rule on the phenomenon in the aerial space protection law, whatever that is, which would turn Mexico into the first country in the world to acknowledge the presence of aliens on the planet, local media reported. Uh
But the United States already
man,
did
I
that.
can't. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But like actual evidence. You know what I mean? Like they're the ones like, "Oh, here it is. Boom." We're all shrouded in mystery and what are they called? RDAs? What are those where you can't say nothing? Is that what that is? An RDA?
Oh, and
NDA?
NDR. What is it? Something like that. NDA.
Non-disclosure
NDR.
agreement?
Non-disclosed.
NDR.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
NDR.
That's right.
Do not resuscitate.
Dude,
DNR.
never don't resuscitate. Oh my god. All right.
Uh,
So Ryan Graves, the executive director of Americans for Safe Aerospace and a former U.S. You know what? Hear me out. Hear me out. This is basically over. Okay. Look, this little alien mummy that they got. That, first and foremost, there's no way in hell they got DNA off of something that is 800 to 1200 years old. I It's a mummy, right? Like who first of all, who mummified it? Who buried it?
well, I
Who
mean, I
found
don't
it?
think it's a is it a mummy? Is right. Well, is that why they look white like they do? Because is it supposedly wrapped in something, or is it just is that the body itself?
It's just the body itself. It's just the
So
body
then technically,
itself.
it's
It's
not really
just
mummified. It's just a dead.
I yeah, it looked like it died in a
So there's a couple
bed of
questions.
salt.
It's a slug.
Yeah, like I don't know what the it's I don't know, man. Like let me see if I can share this thing without. Check this out. For all of
Without
our
crashing the
guys, get
snow.
ready. You'll see it here first. Here we go. All right.
As long as the
Let's
Wi-Fi holds
just
up, you might not see
yeah.
it at all.
All right. Here we go. Ready? Dun dun dun. Aliens.
And there it is, everybody.
There it
That
is.
is what they're saying is a mummified alien. Now, to me, it looks like a. It kind of looks like a figure.
Well, it is a figure. It's just
Well, I meant
I
like
don't know,
like
man.
a little action figure. I don't know.
But like,
It looks
look at the graininess. It looks like it's made of
right.
sand, dude.
Yeah, no, it looks like a clay, right?
I don't know, man. Yeah, and it's
Looks like
tiny.
clay. Yeah,
It's
it's not
effing
that big.
tiny.
All right,
Mm-mm.
and they got how many? Three of them?
Two. Though there was one that
Two.
had to bury them. Apparently, who buried it? What buried it?
So the one buried one, and then he buried himself.
Yeah, he's like, I'm just gonna die here. This place sucks. So there's just the wars on Orion's belt. Oh my god. Yeah. Um. Anyway, so this has been circulating all over. Like, I can't pop up like my news feed, even though I don't even go on the news feed. But when I pop up the homepage of the internet, it's this beef jerky face. It's like ET that never got to go home, and he got stranded in the fucking desert without Elliot. You know, like if ET never found Elliot, this would happen. And
So I
I don't
heard
know, man. Hmm.
no, I heard that that guy that found them or is presenting him. What's his name? Is that Jesus?
Yeah,
Jorge
that's George
Jesus?
of Jesus. Yep, George of
Puss
Jesus.
in Boots.
No,
Okay,
Puss in Boots.
so
Yeah,
I heard that he um actually um has tried to do something like not I don't think something like this, but he has made claims of other aliens and stuff like that. So he's been and a lot of those claims have been false.
yeah,
False. So they're saying that this is probably another one of his stunts.
yeah. And that's that's the biggest thing for this whole like brand, right? Of you find an alien, okay? Uh, if it's false, you've just set the whole community back. You like if you're just out there crying wolf just to get on headlines, and that he definitely did. He's all over everything now. Um, it, if it's not real, he set the whole community back 100 years.
So do you think that he did do that? Like he like do you think he did it because the United States came out with their alien thing? So he's like,
Yeah,
"Oh, we're going to do this so we kind of get out there and we're going to be ahead of the United States of
yeah.
other countries and
I
actually show proof."
maybe that. I mean, that
You
could be
know?
it. Like,
It
okay,
sounds
like
stupid, but I mean people do dumb shit like that.
the biggest thing that emerged from this whole thing is that Mexico has a fucking Congress. So, like
And a
the
navy. I didn't know they had a navy.
I
I mean,
I
I'm sorry.
I this sounds ignorant on our part, but at the same time,
I I didn't know they
they
had a
don't they
navy.
don't they don't make too many waves out there. You know what I mean? They're not out there doing anything. But yeah, and it's not a navy; it's a director of Scientific Institute for Health of the Mexican Navy. So maybe he's tracking the size of the navy, how it's going, not necessarily he's the health of the Mexican Navy, not
But
individuals, just how they're doing in general.
no, but I'm saying like, but they have a navy.
I don't know. What if it's not healthy? What if they just
He just wants to make sure the Navy's healthy.
he's just like, hey, how are our ships doing?
That's how they
They're
get
all
out of
right.
Mexico. When they leave here, they're full, but when they come back, there's only the captain.
Yeah,
This is the only one that's
yeah.
left.
I just there's too much. There's like all these quotes that have been said. Like, I can affirm that these bodies have no relations to human beings. Like, no shit. No, like you don't have to say that. We get it. We look at them like, okay, that you don't need to say that,
It's got 3
Benitez.
fingers. They
It's
look
got
like
three
the penguin.
fingers.
They got
Like,
hands like the penguin.
yeah, but they're tiny. Let me see if I can pull up a scale. I will sound like fucking Batman. The scale. Oh
We're
my
gonna get to the
god.
bottom of this.
They should have brought in Commissioner Gordon. Let me see.
Right. They brought in the
Let's
wrong
see.
commissioner.
Yeah. They went to Congress. Oh my god. All right, let's see. Let's see if I can bring this one up. 'Cause I don't think people know how small this thing is. Check this out. All right, if it loads.
Okay. No, yeah. So there you can kind of get an idea of how little these things are. It's like the size of Chucky.
Not even, dude. Is that Jesus? Is that George of Jesus? Who's that? And is that a brain scan? I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure
That's
there's
the
no
brain.
activity, bud.
I'm
What
pretty
is
sure it's
that?
dead.
What does it say? Usted está viendo la pantalla de Salón Verde 2.
Oh, I wonder if it's
Hey,
like
he
I wonder if
hey,
it's like a gremlin. You add water to it, maybe it comes back to life.
oh, that's like I had those as a kid. Hey, listen, this man has 4 chats open right now, and he has 24 participants. Oh my god, I didn't know I could. I didn't know. I didn't know I could zoom in this much.
That's funny as shit. Yeah, what else can you see?
What operating platform does he use? I was. What are your Wi-Fi
Dios
settings?
mío.
Anyway, so this is the green coffee bean that they brought in as proof.
That's probably like
They're
the
like,
inside of it.
this X-ray shows a green coffee bean, which means there's absolutely no relation to the humans. Like, yes. What about the Wookiees? Like, that's kind of what I get drawn back to. I don't even know what that is. Is that like added in? Why is that so? Is that
Like, is that supposed to
screen
be his?
just like
It's
chilling there?
brain scan.
But it's
I don't know. What
like
does it
a
say?
Zoom call.
Maybe people were
Where?
watching and like, what does it say?
It doesn't say
Like right up
nothing,
top.
dude. Up
Uh,
top, it's not even titled. This
ustedes
is
están
what does that
viendo
say?
las pantallas de
The
Verde dos.
the green,
What the?
the green screen,
Did
right?
you get it?
Salon.
Did you get that? Well, not green screen. I think I think he's talking about his brain, the head of the second one.
Salon. Oh, I guess so. Maybe right. That's
Yeah.
Mexican for head.
Ustedes están viendo
This
la pantalla. Pantalla is the screen, right?
the
Right.
screen. Yeah.
De Salón Verde dos.
Yeah.
Sí.
Yeah. So
Muy bien.
this is slide 18 and
Two.
that's 17. So that's all right. So they went through fucking 17 of these things. They're like, hey, this is the best one. Grab that one. All right, cool, man.
But
Anyway,
you can see how big and how little the ET is,
yeah,
right?
yeah, and look at the upholstery on these office chairs. Like, when did they stop stocking their shit?
Oh man.
Anyway, I'm not ripping on their stuff. I mean, we can barely get Wi-Fi signal. They got it, fucking aliens.
Yeah. They got a
So
bunch of aliens in there.
they got aliens.
But
But
yeah,
anyway,
so
it's
the one guy was supposedly not telling the truth a lot, so people are waiting to see if the story falls apart.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. And do I have to do it again? Hold on. This is interactive episode right here, guys. Interactive, interactive. Check this out. So that there's another shot. There's another
Oh,
shot
okay. So
for
I
perspective.
think that's the guy on the right.
Oh shit! Sorry. Yeah,
No, 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 no.
this
You're right.
guy.
I think that guy is the guy that keeps coming up, and they keep saying that he's lying,
Well,
or
yeah, he looks like
he's
he's
been
still
known to
searching
lie.
for the fucking Eye of Zinj from Congo. He is like this man needs a expedition party and funding. This guy is like, why am I here? Why is
He's
this
probably paying him
box?
keep getting
Why is
good
this? Why
coin to
is
be
this
there.
box so big? Why is this box so big?
Presentation, catches the eye.
I bet they both lifted too. I bet this thing weighs like a pound.
Yeah, if that.
You know, it'd be funny if it was made out of like pure, straight up pressed
Cocaine.
cocaine,
Yeah,
and that's how they
they get
shipping
it
it to
to
the
the
U.S.
United States.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like, ah, man, this guy looks like that guy though, right? It's the Eye of
yeah.
Zinj. Amy, good gorilla. That guy. Oh my god, that guy looks like he did something terrible. Skeletons in his closet aren't mummified aliens. Anyway,
No, I think they were humans.
yeah.
What's the other picture
Yeah.
above it?
Other picture above it.
Or is that some other shit?
Ad.
Yeah.
That's UFO hearing
Oh,
breakdown. That's the breakdown.
wow.
Yes. But
Was that the Mexican
yeah,
government
and
Congress?
that guy. Oh look, who is this? This is Mao-san. Mao-san.
Oh, maybe that's the guy that's the liar then. No, I think that's him.
Yeah,
Jim
it looks
Nelson
like him.
spearheaded the hearing along with a group of scientists. Who is Mexican best
Like the
known?
Vegas,
Yes,
it's like the
that's him.
Vegas shit.
Yes, put him on there. Hey, that's the guy. He's the one. Okay, so the Congo guy isn't the one, but that guy is the one that they said has not told the truth very much.
Yeah. He's the Fred Hammond of the alien world. He's the Alfredo Hammond. Hamondo. Anyway,
Senor.
Senor Mausan. What is that? Anyway, cool. So anyway, so these are the Peruvian aliens.
Yes.
I
So
just don't,
originally from Peru, transferred to
originally from
Mexico.
Peru.
Peru?
Uh, Peru. Well, no, I feel like Peru already has all this crazy shit, man. You got Machu Picchu, they eat guinea pigs, Nazca lines. Like there's a bunch of unexplained stuff that happens out there. Like there's a lot of stuff that happens out there.
Is that where guinea pigs come from, Peru?
I'm pretty sure. Definitely not from Guinea, wherever that is. I had definitely not from Guinea. I don't know where Guinea is. I know where New Guinea is. I know Papua New Guinea, and I'm pretty sure there are no guinea pigs there. So yes. I don't think they call them guinea pigs. I think they call them
Pigs?
ratones del almuerzo, which means breakfast, which means breakfast rats.
And they roll them up in little tortillas.
Oh, anyway. Oh man,
That's what's for breakfast.
that's what's for breakfast. Breakfast rat, love it. It's like, oh Jesus,
Delicacy.
yeah. So I mean, it's just there's a bunch of
You know what?
unexplained stuff happening.
Can't get it
Uh,
over, man. So, guinea pigs don't come from Guinea.
no, they're they're not from Guinea. You heard it here first. I'm not gonna Google that. I have a gut feeling about that one.
Oh, I can't right now, man. I'm sorry.
Anyway, so that's my story. I think, it's just it's so big. It's so big. It's everywhere. Those images are everywhere. And so uh yeah. We had to poke holes in it, you know. I feel like there's some shit on this channel that's like feasible, and then we have to bring you the shit that's like we gotta poke holes in it. Have to.
Oh shit.
Anyway, so yes, I'm giving that
Again.
whole story like just all the thumbs down. Don't believe it. That story.
Yeah. As honestly, as much as I'd like to see a UFO, I've never seen one. As much as I'd like to see a UFO and believe the aliens are real, because I kind of do they believe they are.
Yeah,
I think that's bullshit. I don't
yeah. I
yeah,
think
that story I'm kind of
from the beginning, I'm like, what? UFologist,
yeah.
ufologist. I'm done. Anyway, so please redeem the podcast.
Right, yeah.
What do you have, good sir?
Wow. All right. So I'm going to go with I have a story that's going to take us back to good old 1994 Zimbabwe, specifically the Ariel School UFO incident. And this incident occurred again in 1994 on September 16th at a school in Zimbabwe where the children of Ariel School between the ages of 6 and 12 were on a break from schoolwork and playing outside while the staff were indoors having a meeting. So no one was really watching the kids while they were while they were outside on the playground. And at this time, the children all noticed something in the sky. Three silver-shaped discs, a little bit off in the distance and closing in. After a couple of minutes, two of the discs disappeared, but one was still there and getting closer. It was just a little ways off beyond the trees past the school playground and seemed to land behind over a hill. I guess it was like in a hill or like a little there's some clearing. So it landed
Huh.
down over there. It was past the school playground. So the kids
Okay.
decided to go investigate what was going on. And the kids all the kids from the school, they all walked over to where they saw the object where it looked like it landed. And at this time, the teachers and the staff were still inside having their meeting. So, I mean, you just imagine these kids are in there, or all these kids are outside, right? It's not like America. It's not here like in the States where, you know, at some elementary school, first and second and third grade go to lunch, have recess, and then the other group. It's like all the kids of the school were like
Out.
outside. Teacher were like, we need a meeting. We're gonna send you guys outside. Go play. So that's what they did. All right. Um, and then
And they sorry, man. So the
no, you're
kids
good.
just saw this like formation of UFOs closing in on them. Like they just like all looked up and they saw three UFOs just and dude, that's I
Yes,
don't know.
yes,
That's
yes,
effing terrifying, dude.
yes. So yeah, that's the thing. They're all outside. They're all playing. Three discs were in the sky. They look up, and and I'm sure they didn't all notice it at once, but
Mhm.
one kid saw it, another kid saw it. They're all started like freaking out. Not and it didn't seem like from what I read was that they started screaming or anything. They all were just like, "Oh my gosh, what is that?" So everyone kind of looked at it. Two of them took off. One of them landed. So they all, kids again, kids being kids, they just go and said, "Let's go check it out," and they all walked over there. So I don't know how many kids actually it was that walked over there. I mean, it's a lot of kids, you
Yeah.
know. So the kids walked through the trees, came upon the ship that had landed, and what the kids saw next, it kind of blew them away. Two dark figures emerged from the disc shaped object, and the two figures began to approach the children. Now, at this point, most of the kids got scared and ran away, but only 62 were left and those who did stay were mostly the older kids. And the
Hmm.
kids all claimed that the beings were skinny with large black eyes. And when the aliens begin to get close to the children, it's said that they begin to communicate with them telepathically and show them glimpses of the future. So the kids were like, go check it out. They see these strange things coming out of the spaceship. They all
That's
get, some of them get scared. And like, I don't know how many, I mean, there must have been like, is it 100 kids? I don't know. I don't know if it was 100 kids, 80 kids, but only 62 of them stayed. And these things started to telepathically communicate with them. And doing so started showing them glimpses of the future.
now here's a question. Like, I feel like that could possibly kill someone. Now hear me
Telepathically?
out. Yeah, like that's a huge, that's the way. If they're communicating like that, you're like downloading all that shit into some kid's head. It That's a lot. And if they're like, okay, we're aliens, we're just chilling, we're gonna stop here, let's meet the populace, let's try to, you know, break this middle ground, and then just start showing them glimpses of the future. Like, you could
Mm-hmm.
leave them catatonic. I don't know. Maybe it's because they were kids that they were able to. I have a lot more questions. I mean, granted, that's what this podcast is a bunch of questions.
Right. Yeah.
Um,
I don't think there's like any, that's all we
ufologists in
do
the
is ask
midst.
questions.
There's no
Right.
ufologists in the mix.
In the, but I mean, I
um,
get what you're saying. But I heard kids are like pretty resilient when it comes to stuff like that. But for whatever reason, when it comes to like spirits, supernatural type stuff, UFOs, aliens, the kids seem to like really, like, it's like they can take a beating and keep going, and
yeah,
they, I don't know.
I yeah, because
Uh,
I feel like their brains and their mind, their mental state is resilient. Like
yeah.
that. Yeah, they're not like the naked farmer in the field. That was like, they took me and it
Well, no, if they
ruins his
took
whole
like a
life.
70 or, yeah, if they took like a 70 or 80-year-old woman or man, I think they would probably die. Like their
Yeah,
head would, all this new stuff, they probably would like have a heart attack or a head would
yeah,
explode or something. But with kids,
interesting.
yeah, I feel like they can absorb it more. And
Was it?
I mean,
Did
that's just what I think.
did they ever disclose what they saw, or am I getting ahead? I don't know.
Ah, I think it jumped ahead a little bit, but
Sorry,
that's okay.
the questions. Sorry.
No, but I mean, there's that's again, yeah, that's what we do here. Ask questions.
Yeah,
What they said they saw was a dystopian future due to humans' mismanagement of resources and technology. So it's kind of like what's going on, I guess, what's going on now, more or less.
mm,
Technology, resources, people complaining
yeah,
about it, stop
100%.
the oil, all that stuff,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
So this encounter lasted about 15 minutes before the aliens got back on the ship and left and disappeared. When the children got back to the playground, recess was over and most of the children were crying and shaken up over the incident. The children were all trying to tell the teachers what happened, but the teachers just dismissed the claims. Of course, because
yeah.
when kids tell you they saw alien and they're crying and something's wrong, just was nobody wants to hear it. They just tell them,
Nope.
"Nah, you'll be fine."
You're fine.
I just like
Walk it
brush them
off.
away.
Walk
Yeah.
it off.
When the children got home, they all told their parents and their experiences and what had happened during recess that day. The next day, the parents all came in with their kids to try and figure out what they were talking about and investigate what happened. All the kids were interviewed, and they all had pretty much the same story with just small different
Crazy.
details. Like some of them had, I don't know, someone probably said they saw 5 aliens, one said two, one probably said they saw, who knows what, but that's just the gist of it, right?
That's crazy.
Right.
Yeah.
So
That's crazy though. Okay. Yeah. I mean, that many people telling pretty much the same effing story. Yeah, that doesn't happen. That doesn't happen, especially not with kids. Especially not with kids.
yeah, so it's like when you have one kid, you're probably like, I'll look into it. When you
Yeah.
got like 10 kids, 60 kids, that's probably where you're,
Yeah.
we should really look into this and
Yeah.
see what's going on. So
Yes. Pay
psychologists
attention.
Yeah, really. Psychologists looked into the case and talked with the kids and found that they weren't lying. The headmaster of the school asked all the kids to draw what they saw when they looked at the pitch. I'm sorry. So the headmaster told them all to like draw pictures of
Mhm.
what they all saw. And when they showed the headmaster the pictures, they all closely resembled each other. Some had silver disc objects or alien figures or dark looking beings or both. So a lot of the pictures were, uh, I remember seeing one picture. It was like a ship in between some trees. One showed a ship with like aliens. Another kid drew just an alien, what they saw that they thought was like an alien or whatever the case may be. So pretty much all the kids were drawing the same thing, right? Some of the kids didn't know what they saw or thought the aliens were the creature called the
Hmm.
Tokalush, or whatever that thing is called. So that's a creature found in local folklore. So that's like a what do you call
So
it? It's a
like a
cryptid from
cryptid?
Zimbabwe. It's a cryptid from Zimbabwe.
Huh.
Yeah.
But do they ride around in silver discs throughout the
No.
galaxy?
No. So what they're saying is uh, they're saying that some of the kids thought that what they saw weren't aliens. They thought it was a Tokolosh.
Huh.
And
Huh.
if I'm not pronouncing that correctly, please forgive me.
Mm. I but for
So
like
they weren't so scared, like they were scared of it, but they weren't too scared because they've heard of it before because it's local in Zimbabwe. I
lore?
guess it's
Yeah.
yeah, it's in Zimbabwe, so they
But
probably would
that's
just
kind of
kind of
wild too. I mean, they're like, "Oh, this is weird," but I mean, it's normal weird. You know,
mm-hmm.
like
Yeah,
okay, I've heard about this. This must be them. But that's what it is. It's like your brain has to make it work. Your brain has to make what you're seeing make sense. And maybe they had no concept of what an alien or spacecraft or UFO was. I mean, it's 94. It's not like the 1800s. You know what I
right,
mean?
right.
But we don't know how plugged in these kids were or not to all the stuff happening, right? So
Mm-hmm.
if let's say you're not familiar with what you're seeing, you're going to try to associate that
With
with
something
with something you know.
Mm-hmm.
That like how some ancient astronaut theorists say that when the people in the Bible started writing about chariots up in the sky, they were really referencing UFOs because
and
they didn't know
right,
how else to describe it, right?
right, right. No, yeah, exactly.
And so but that's interesting how it's like, okay, I don't know what this is, but it sounds like this. So still we're gonna approach it, which is crazy. Which is
Right.
crazy to me because I still wouldn't approach it, even if I knew what it was. Oh, that's a fucking Bigfoot. Let me get near it. Like, no, no, no. I don't care what it looks like. Even if I'm familiar with it, get so I'm wondering why that if these beings are so advanced, right? These beings are so advanced, they could somehow what if they somehow convinced those 62 to stick around? Somehow. If they're telepathically
Like they
communicating,
purposely told them to come towards them.
yeah, yeah, or something, because kids ran, but 62 stayed.
Mm-hmm.
That's an overwhelming amount of kids.
It is a lot of kids. And people were like, no, that they were thinking that some of the teachers at the school got them to do this for like publicity or some stuff
Wow.
like that. They thought maybe, they did it on their own and were like, we're gonna but like you said, it was in 94. And even now to this day, all the kids are now grown and they hold true to their story and all the
Mm,
events of that day. And there's been
wow.
documentaries about this. One of the latest ones was a documentary called Phenomenon on Netflix.
What? So
Yeah.
this is our wow. Okay, I'm now my interest is piqued. I must
Yeah.
see that then.
So yeah, and I saw interviews. There's one, I don't remember what his name is. That's he's a black guy. He was at the school, and he was saying how like yeah um there's some white kids that went to this school too, um, but now since since '94, I mean that's so long ago. Everyone's grown up, obviously, and there's some people that still live in Zimbabwe, but a lot of those kids, like, they're all over the place. They're all over in different countries. The one black guy, he's actually in the States, and like I've seen interviews with him, and he's like, they still believe everything that happened. They're like,
Wow.
no, this truly happened. And apparently, all the other kids are either they don't want to talk about it, or if they do talk about it, it's the same thing.
That's crazy.
Nobody's changed their story.
That's crazy, man.
So, yeah.
But I now hear me on this. It's kind of wild. Like aliens come down and they give you snapshots of the future. That's very vague because if they've traveled hundreds of millions and billions and trillions and gajillions of light years away just to put, or who's to say they weren't already here? You know what I mean? Like I get that too. But ooh, I think I what if these are like interdimensional beings that reside on our sphere, right? They're just
Mhm.
reside in a different dimension. But our dimension, if we continue on our path, will jack up their dimension if we're not careful. Like,
Could
what
be.
if we nuke the shit out of it, and because of us nuking the shit out of our dimension on this, I don't know dimensions. I'm no fucking Juan Benitez. But what if we nuke our shit
Mousy.
and mousy and we ruin theirs, and they're just trying to fucking warn us like, hey, stop with this.
I mean, they
You're
could,
gonna ruin it for
but
everyone.
right. No, and I agree with you. But I think I remember hearing somebody say how that like what is it, the the UFOs appear every once in a while, or appear often, uh around nuclear sites.
Yeah, yeah, which
Right?
is
Have you heard that
wild.
before?
Yeah, yeah, that's where the most
Yeah.
unexplained shit happens is near
Right.
like big things. Like I would love to see if there's been a lot of UFO activity around that particle accelerator. I would love to see that. That's
Ooh,
up there
yeah.
in the
Mhm.
north. I don't know where.
Yeah.
I think it's
Way.
Finland, Norway, Switzerland,
Mhm.
up there, up in those parts, because
It's kind of scary.
that has the potential to take out fucking everything.
Yeah. Yeah. If something goes wrong there, there's no way to
And
stop it.
yeah, that's an end of planet mistake.
Yeah.
You know, if they create a
I don't
black hole inside of our Earth,
right, yeah. It's like you have,
yeah,
I don't know how much time you'd have.
I don't know. We'd all be
Probably
moving in slow motion.
oh man,
Wouldn't that be
horrible.
crazy? Maybe that's why our Wi-Fi is jacked up.
It's like, oh man.
Great.
But
But but anyway, no, I mean that's crazy to
yeah.
get all
So
all
yeah,
those
it's
kids
crazy.
to get on that same story for that long to stay true to that. So they saw something. They had to have seen something. Probably not the Takalashes.
No, 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 no. But that's what I'm saying. Like I think they said that because they were like it, it reminded them. Oh, because there were kids that did draw the pictures of the Takalash because
Oh,
they thought that's what it was. They thought
oh,
that's what it
got it.
was. So they drew, like, I think there was a couple of them that thought, which I mean, again, I can kind of understand that. Like you said, you kind of associate one thing with something else, and you
It
kind of
must be that, so
put it together.
therefore it is that. Yeah, I got you.
Right.
That's crazy though,
And it
man.
probably gave him a
I
little bit of comfort saying like it's not
Yeah,
so scary.
yeah. It's been
Maybe.
around
I don't know.
forever. Right? Something
Yeah.
that's been around forever in lore is less scary than something that's brand effing new and unexplainable.
Right.
So, but that's kind of crazy. I'm really intrigued on that Netflix special, man, because that's wild. That's
Yeah. It's
crazy.
been
Like,
on. I'm gonna have to take a look at it.
yeah, yeah. Report back. But that's that's kind of to have kids agree on stuff is impossible. that have 62 of them agree on the same fucking story, that means it happened. Like, I don't care what you say, you know. And I mean, how long ago was that?
I mean,
94?
they
That's
94,
30,
man. Yeah.
30 years ago, something like that. 30 something, 20,
So
28,
yeah,
29 years ago.
9 years. So it's like you have to, yeah, you have to say they saw something. They didn't just see, they weren't pretending. Because at some point the kids probably been like, no, we didn't see anything. I don't remember what it was. They all vividly remember everything. They
How did
remember
they
all the stuff.
how did they know it was images of the future, and especially of this planet, and not something that happened to their planet? You know what I mean? Like, if you think about it, these are
Well,
kids from
they were talking to
Zimbabwe,
them
and
telepathically.
oh, oh, okay, that's
You know what I
different.
mean?
Okay,
So they're
yeah,
talking to them telepathically. They didn't just show them pictures. You know, they're
okay.
telling them, um, hey, this is the future. This is what the future holds for you, your kids. What's going to happen on this planet if you continue down this path? So, I mean, it's pretty crazy. But I mean, they
Yeah.
just said it was like a dystopian future. Everything was all messed up. It was because of technology and ruining resources and stuff like that. So, I mean,
Uh,
what it looked like, honestly, it's probably looked like shit.
like Detroit, but like, I feel like they should have pictures of Detroit. When is this? Tell me when this is gonna happen. Like 2000. Like, whoa, damn. No, but I just that's kind of wild, man. I definitely am going to take a look at that on Netflix if it's still there. I hope it's still there.
Right? Yeah, yeah. I know. I do too. I'm gonna check it out.
Phenomenon. All right, that's kind of. But I mean, it's super cool, man. So these people that did that documentary went to Zimbabwe, or they just rallied all the kids, or how they tracked down. Like, that's the other crazy thing. I want to know how that experience affected their life, or if it was like so out of the blue. Was it like I want to
Well, from the little
how
bit that
what
I saw,
yeah.
from the little bit that I saw, like I said, the one guy, he's going around. I mean, he's like he was on a podcast. He was on a podcast. It didn't seem like it was that long ago, and he's like talking about it, And he says he keeps. I think he said he kept in touch with some of the kids, some of the other people that were there. But yeah, same thing. It's like they're normal. There's nothing wrong with them. He's not like that homeless guy on the subway that's like, I saw aliens. They're coming for you, and holding up the sign.
Yeah, no,
The end
I
is
feel like,
near. It's not like that, but I don't think they're all screwed up.
no, it'd just be interesting, like, what's the point of partaking, or of sharing the knowledge of the future without giving any sort of direction, or you know what I mean? Like, unless it was that
Mhm.
like terrible, that terrifying, that all the kids compartmentalized that shit and forgot it out of necessity, or maybe their brains couldn't process that, or not
Maybe some
understand
of it their
fully
brains
what.
didn't process,
Yeah.
but I mean, they still remember it. So,
I would love to know if there's anything currently that caused them to have deja vu, like they saw it before. That would be interesting, because then you could narrow that some of that shit down. If it's has
probably. I mean,
happened
got to be
or
something.
will happen, like, right?
I mean, yeah, they have to. They have to. Like I said, the stuff that's going on now, they probably are like, oh, this reminds me of what they showed us or what they said, because they did have conversations, or they did have
That's
a conversation,
crazy.
you know.
Like,
So
collectively,
uh, I want to say
that's the
yes. I
thing.
want. Well, they'd have to, right? Because they're all
I don't
there.
know.
They couldn't talk in 15 minutes or even 20 minutes. There's no way they could try to give each kid this information one by one. You know what I mean?
But maybe they
That take
could.
more than 15.
Well, maybe they could. Like, you know what I mean? They just sent out pre-programmed messages to these kids. Just boom. Here's yours,
I'm
here's yours,
maybe,
here's yours, and
maybe, but none of them. I
uh,
don't think any of them are like in like high office, or you know what I mean, like in some government position where they're, you know what I mean.
mm,
So
I don't know, man. That's it's wild to me, man. That's wild to me. That's just that to me takes more. It, it doesn't take me a lot to believe that happened. Does that make sense? Like, there's no
mhm,
stretching nothing. Like, if there's 62 kids that had the same effing story, I'm pretty sure something happened, and I'm more inclined to believe the group that saw something as kids and have stayed with the same story since 94 than some dude looking at a dusty mummy. You know what I mean? Like,
mhm. Right,
that
yeah,
to me is
right, yeah,
more credible.
right.
But yeah, man, that's crazy. I was a good. Hey, I didn't even know about that. So that's hell yeah, man.
That's pretty
I
interesting,
have
man.
so many questions like formulating, but that won't do
Yeah,
me any
because it's a
good.
lot, man. I mean,
Yeah.
there's 60. There were 62 kids.
That's I don't know. That's
62
pretty. Yeah, that's pretty fucking crazy.
that something happened, and and they all
I
stuck to the story
I
as they
wonder
kept getting older.
I wonder what the kids that ran away drew too, because I wonder if they drew the same spaceship, because that'd be interesting too. Not the ones that were just stay there, the ones
Mm,
that ran. Where they run,
mhm,
draw what you're running from. That's something that would be
right,
interesting to see as well. Because that's I
right.
feel like when you're doing this investigative research, you gotta do to basically prevent your story or the thing you're covering from being like riddled with holes. You got to get
Mhm.
that perspective too. What are they running? What made them run? That's what I would love to know. And a lot of encounters like this, let's say if there are encounters like this, you would think that there would be some sort of spike in radiation, and that would have affected them or their
That sometimes
families.
happens too. Yeah, I don't, and it didn't say if anybody went over there to like
Hmm.
with like a Geiger counter to see if there was radiation, or even if the kids had radiation on them,
Yeah, yeah,
because
because that's the
they were
thing.
that was a close contact with the. So
Yep.
that was another thing, because it's um I showed you that the Heineck scale
Yeah.
of the encounters, what do they call it? It's the Heineck scale, comes from the astronomer at the Ohio State University, the late J. Allen Hynek, also called close encounters, or CE. So the first
Oh.
kind is like you spot something in the sky and it leaves no evidence. Just basically you see a UFO. And then the second kind of a UFO leaves physical trace, like burns on the ground, or maybe some broken branches and stuff like that. Some physical effect occurred, like interference in the functioning of a vehicle or electronic device. The third kind, you make contact with a UFO, you see some alien, like a pilot aboard, or some other life form. Some kind of animated entity is present. This might include humanoids and or robots. So
Hmm.
basically, a robot from coming from outer space is considered an alien.
Yeah. Well, it's extraterrestrials, not from this
Right.
planet, so it's
Right. Yeah.
alien.
It's Steve Jobs didn't make it.
Yeah.
And later on, they added the fourth and fifth kind. So the fourth kind is alien abduction. That's if you get abducted, that's the fourth kind. You had the fourth kind of
Close
CE.
encounter.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And the fifth kind is having contact with aliens on a constant basis, with the very with oh yeah, it was just you have
Basis. So
mhm,
like they're tapped into you. They phone tapped you.
yeah,
Got it. So they're
yes,
talking to you
yes,
all
yes.
the time. Like you're tapped in.
I guess they come and visit you a lot. You're constantly having communication with them.
Got it. You're like the conduit for them. They
Kind of
come
like
to
those people that
you.
see the grays a lot. They're
Yeah.
in bed, they're sleeping, and then they feel like they're getting abducted again. So that's like the fifth kind.
Got it. Got it. Okay. That's terrifying. The fifth kind? Yeah, no, 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 thank you. The fourth alien abduction, man. It's that's a hard one for me to swallow. You know what I mean? I will always try to find a hole to poke into that. And there's so many people because it's hearsay. It's kind of like, okay, you believe you were abducted. Were you? You know what I mean? Like there's so many gray areas in that.
But it's like, again, like, can you say they weren't abducted?
No, 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 you can't. And that's the thing. That's why it's like it's almost like a pointless conversation. It die. It's dead on arrival. That topic is moot. Like it doesn't exist beyond that. You were
Mhm.
abducted. Okay, crazy. Now tell me what happened, or it's kind of like it's unfortunate, but it's not. It's just not believable because it is believable. It's not believable. It's conceivable, but at the same time,
So
there's a
you
lot
can
of
believe
room for
62
fraud.
kids. Wait, you can believe 62 kids saw an alien, but you can't believe someone that says they were abducted by an alien.
No, no, not without knowing who they are, proof, shit like that. Like there's so many factors, especially because remember, kids don't really ever get abducted by aliens. They rarely do. They get visited. Maybe they get talked to.
But
Maybe they
that's the
get put in
thing.
a
I mean,
trance.
if you get if going, I mean, my own opinion. So when I'm going off of like the fifth kind, fourth and fifth kind, I feel like once you get the fourth kind, once you get abducted, and then they keep coming back, that's the fifth kind. So you're constantly being visited by them. So I feel like if you're being visited by them, you probably were abducted by them at some point.
Yeah, probably. Like, and that's where I'm at. Is like, okay, but it's too hard to at that point. Let's say if I'm abducted, now it's my job to prove that I was somehow, some way. It's not your job to believe me. It's my job to prove it. I can't
Well, a
just
lot
say
of
I
those
was.
people, no, I get you, but a lot of those people, that's a repressed memory. Like it's
Yeah,
so shocking, so it's a traumatic experience to some. So
they
they
just
repress
push
that
it all the way
memory.
back. Yeah,
Oh, yeah, it's just like if some people get abused when they're kids, they push
yeah,
all that shit down.
and they'll
It's the
just
same
they'll
thing.
just remember it kind of in dream form or bad
Yeah,
dream form or
and
something like that.
yeah, and then they're kind of, well, I guess in a way they're kind of fucked up.
Yeah, yeah, pretty much, man. That's I don't know, man. That's
But
crazy,
who's
dude.
to say? Who's to say it does happen? But who's to say that it doesn't?
And we're
The
at
book,
this precipice again,
the book is always open,
and always enigmatic.
always. Thanks for joining us on the Enigmatic Podcast.
Pretty much. And movie review.
We didn't have many movies this episode. Sorry,
I
guys.
did say E.T. and Puss in Boots. Okay, for those of you playing the App Files drinking game, there's that. Oh man,
All right, man. So yeah, so that's our show for this
there you go.
wonderful episode. So
To be
so we had
continued.
the to be continued because we don't know what's going to happen with the UFOs, the illegal aliens.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll have to keep an eye on that and see what happens. Yeah,
Yep.
and apparently the school children never change their story, so that's not changing anytime soon.
Yeah. Make sure you guys should go check that out on Netflix if it's still out there or
Right?
wherever it is. Because I mean, I'm
If you
gonna
can
check
find
this
it,
out.
yeah.
No. Yeah.
If anyone
That's
can find it and watch it, leave us a comment. Let us know what
because
you think.
that's
What's your
super
opinion?
interesting. But yeah. Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna go check that out. I want to check it out. And please, everybody, if you're enjoying this content, if you're having a good time, don't forget to press that like button. That's somewhere around here. Leave a comment, share, do all that good stuff. Please, helps us out because then that helps us get better stuff for the show
Correct. It all gets enveloped back in,
into the
reinvested
show.
to
Yes,
to
and
enhance
then
all of you guys' experience.
we just want to make it better.
Yes, we will build our tower of Wi-Fi together.
Yeah, it'll be an enigmatic tower of Wi-Fi.
Wi-Fi. More of like it's gonna look like a Tesla coil. People will call it a death ray of Wi-Fi. But
Well, you'll know whose it is.
yes,
But
100%.
anyway, cool. Thank you, Daniel, for joining us today.
Always. Thanks for having me on, man.
No problem. And until next time, everybody. Peace.